Welcome to the channel, guys. I'm out here in Warsaw today, Warsaw, Missouri, riding the old Honda Goldwing. We're going to drive around town a little bit here, going to go by the dam, going to go down by the river, might even go over by the swinging bridge. Let you guys check those things out with me today. I come all the way up from Bagnell Dam up here to Warsaw, pay my propane bill. And of course, you know, nobody had to be in the office today. That wasn't the message I received on the phone yesterday, that they would be here. Well, I got to enjoy a nice little ride. Sometimes those things like that are a little disappointing, but hey, I got to be out on the bike today riding, so it doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean? Alright, so we are coming up on the campground down here below the city park in Warsaw. And we are going to cruise over there and let you check that out. City Park. Old Warsaw Missouri is a pretty old little town, really. Got some older homes in it. Got the courthouse down here in town. The courthouse will be located over here on the right, just past the stop sign. Right over here. That old courthouse has been around many a years. I'd say it's probably been a year since I've been over here on this side of the lake. It's been a hot minute. Guess you could call it that. This is the city park down here in Warsaw, and this is the Osage River arm right here in front of us here. Got a little park over here to my right, and I believe they've got a nice little walking trail that kind of tools around the outer edge of this. Yeah, see it there? It kind of goes along that edge. This up here is the... They must have changed the approach on this. Better get over here on this side. Little boat ramp over here. I remember a day when you could go 2 boats down this ramp. Can't do that now, I guess. Not a bad little place, really. Fishermen can come and put their boats in and enjoy the upper end of Lake of the Ozarks. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that that is now the police station for Warsaw. Anyway, let's roll around the corner here and we'll go over and go by the swinging bridge. Let you guys see that. I don't necessarily know that I want to get off and walk across that bridge today, but I will definitely pull up there on it, or to it, I should say, so you don't think I'm actually going to ride out on it. I used to live here several years back. It was actually a really nice little town to live in. A lot of the old structures are still here. It is definitely a fishing community. Kind of one that I've always liked. It's a little slower pace. Nobody's in a big hurry down here. I see the fuel prices have moved up to $3.35 a gallon. Alright, so Swinging Bridge is right over there. We'll get up there pretty close to it, and we'll stop and get off the bike for just a minute maybe here, and walk over and let you see that sign and maybe read and see what it has to say. Guess she wanted to wait a while. I'm missing a couple screws in a plastic piece that I have on the front fender. I have actually ordered them, but it's got a little bit of a rattle that I dislike. Okay, see if we get this old girl in neutral and parked. Curl off the old girl for a second here. Walk over. As you can see, these concrete piers here that are actually holding that cable. Pretty interesting how they used to design these things back in the day. But this is the Swinging Bridge right here. Pretty cool old structure. One day it used to carry vehicles back and forth across it. Now it's just for walking purposes. The Joe Dice Swinging Bridge. This would be a good time to pause your video and you can kind of read here what's going on. Hopefully the camera's zooming in okay on this so you can see it clearly. I'm going to turn around here. Another little old sign. It was originally a toll bridge. The letters are kind of unclear. This says 1924. And I believe this one here says 1904. Built in 1904 by Joseph Dice. It was destroyed in 1924 by a tornado and rebuilt again in 1928. Let's see. Can't really distinguish what these here are. Warsaw, 1974, to be preserved as a historical site and walking bridge. Pretty cool old bridge, really. So we're going to move on. I'm going to go ahead and go downstream a little bit. Well, I should say downstream, up towards the dam in Warsaw there, and let you folks see that. So give me just a second here and we'll get you back out on the road. Okay, we are back on the bike and back on the road. We're going to head down through the back road over here. Going towards the dam. I'm at that point where I really need to take this hoodie off. It's becoming quite warm, which I knew it would be. This is another little boat ramp for the Osage River arm. Like I said, this really is a really nice little community. A lot of fishermen, a lot of fishermen. Share the road. I'd been wanting to do this for a while. What I'd really like to do is ride from dam to dam, making a loop around the entire Lake of the Ozarks. I think that would be a lengthy video, but I think it would be still pretty cool, showing you a couple ways around the lake. Not necessarily driving shorelines, but driving all the way around the entire lake from dam to dam. If you think I should do that, leave a comment down there in the comment box about it. Maybe when my friend Frank Woodsman from Woodsman Adventures comes up on his Goldwing, maybe he and I can make that tour around the lake and see what he thinks about it. Old Riverside Cemetery. This has always been a cool little road in the summertime. These evergreens lining this whole road. I always liked it, even when I was a kid growing up. It was always pretty cool. And there's a temperature difference too. You know, when you're here and you got sun's not beating down on you through this section. It's always been pretty neat. I wanted to get out on the 300L yesterday and ride it a little bit, but the temperature dropped here in Missouri pretty drastically yesterday and the day before. I just chose to stay home. I said, nope, not gonna go nowhere. It'll be warm in a couple days and I can go back out. So here I am. Like I said, if it hadn't been for the propane, I probably wouldn't have come to Warsaw at all. But that's one of our heat sources for our home, so, and they don't have a local office in our area down there on that end of the lake anymore, so you got to come clear up to Warsaw, which is fine. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it. I was just kind of disappointed when I got there and they said, oh, sorry, we're not going to be here today. Well, that's not what you said on the phone yesterday, but okay. All right, we're going to make a left turn here. Go down below the dam. When we come back up, I think I might come back up and go across the dam. Well, you know what? I think I'll go across the dam first, if it's open. And then I'll come back and then I'll go down there. We'll go down below the dam at that point. Right over here on the right is the Harry S. Truman Visiting Center, which is really a cool thing if you ever go in there. And a lot of people don't go see the visiting center because who wants to go see a visiting center just to see a visiting center? You know, but it has a really lot of neat stuff in there to look at. Okay, as soon as we come around this corner here, we are going to see Truman Lake on the right, and on the left is Osage River Arm starting Lake of the Ozarks right down there. Truman really is a neat location to fish and boat. Now, it doesn't have the shoreline that we have over on Lake of the Ozarks side, but it is still big. And the Osage River comes in and goes around the corner over here, but it goes clear to Kansas. It just doesn't have the contributaries that Lake of the Ozarks has. And now we are crossing the dam. Their dam is a lot wider than our dam down at Bagnell. And that's the end of the dam itself. So that's pretty cool, really. This is a state park over here to my right. They let you swim and enjoy your time out there doing that. Alright, I believe I'll go down here and turn around like I said. And then go back down to below the dam. Here is Truman Dam Reservation Project Office. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So we'll buzz back across the dam. And then we'll go down there below like I said we would. And once I get across the dam and go down below, I will walk over and let you see the spillway down below. And then from there, I'll more than likely end this video. But like I said, today we're out enjoying the time on the Goldwing. This is the 2008 model with comfy nav. Got all the whistles and bells. And we are using the DJI Action Pro 5 camera. And I have the DJI Mic Minis with this camera. And I think they pair pretty well. Hopefully you're not experiencing any wind noise in this video. We got to go around the corner and then back down through here, so it takes me just a minute or two here and we'll be down there in that area. Speed limit's 45. We're definitely breaking that law. You used to be able to walk up farther to the dam before 911. Once 911 happened for the Twin Towers, once that happened, then they kind of started tightening down some of the areas you could actually get close to here in the States. I remember in 94, Truman Lake was, I want to say, 28 feet above flood stage. And they literally had Corps of Engineers watching these banks in a couple different locations here around the lake to make sure no springs were coming up through those banks. You know, once a spillway or once a dam like that starts to break loose, well, I tell you what, that levee ain't long for this world at that point. I could have taken you over to the other side and come in on the other side of this dam, but they used to, like I said, they used to let you go in there and take tours, but that's not the case now. They don't do that anymore. And as you can see, they put this chain link fence up over here restricting you from going over there. Well, that used to be the cool thing, was to go over there and right there by them gates and check out that water when it was flowing. So let's walk over there and check it out. It sounds like they may be running some water out of one gate. I believe they are. They sure are. That's good. So you'll get to see a little bit of water movement here. And I've seen these gates open, all four of them, flowing so much water through here, it would almost take your breath away. That's not the case today, but they are at least flowing some water, which is pretty cool. You don't get to see that often. Now, I know Bagnell Dam right now, they're generating electricity. So you're getting to see the lake kind of hold even though it's extremely low right now. it's holding steady at one height. I don't remember what the report was this morning, but it's low. It's low. Come Memorial Day, it's going to be full pool, and everybody will be back to enjoying their summer activities like they usually do. They're just staying prepared for the spring rains here in Missouri. Kind of a cool deal, really. Like I said, they're not flowing much water. And I'm sure they're probably generating water at the same time. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to head back over to the old Honda Goldwing and head back to Bagnell Dam. Probably going to be about an hour drive for me. Take my time, stroll around and enjoy the day. So I'm going to take you guys on down around this here little circle drive and come back out to this here little driveway, and then we'll end the video there. That's kind of a neat little road, goes out on the point. I guess it does help to have the old ignition turned on, don't it? All right, let's roll around the edge here. Check it out. Let you folks see this. They call this side of the water over here that you're going to get to see here in a moment, they call it Bloodsoe Ferry. It's kind of a still water. The water kind of backs up in there. But the crappie, when they're biting, man, that is the location to be. So if you're a crappie fisherman, you need to be over there when they're biting. Sorry about that. You usually find people over here catfishing. And right now, spoonbill season is on. But you can't come up here past the 65 highway bridge. They won't let you snag past that bridge. This is kind of their little spawning area. So they'll come up here and spawn, and then they'll go on back downstream. The 65 highway bridge is about a mile downstream from the swinging bridge that I just showed you, which was right down there. So it's like I said, this water goes to a point and then goes that way to Bagnell. But this is that still water over here that I was talking about a moment ago. And I can see there's fishermen over here. I would venture to say the crappie's probably biting right now. Now, because it's a weekday, you're probably not going to see the amount of fishermen over here that you would normally see. I'm going to go in the wrong way here, just because I'm ornery and I do stuff like that. You can see that there's another boat ramp over here where these folks put in. Permit required for boat launch. Pay fee at self-pay station. I didn't know they made that a pay station area now. Alright guys, well like I said, there's the pay station. I want to thank you guys all for watching my channel. I want to thank you for coming along this little tour around Warsaw and checking this out with me. If you like the content, again, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed and you want to subscribe, it doesn't cost you a dime. And if you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified on any new videos that I have come out. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and we do comment back. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.